Hi everybody, this is Bonnie from Bonnie's Creative Place, and I'm coming to you today with this fun little card. Isn't he cute? I just absolutely love him. And before we get started, I just want to let you know that if there's any product that you see here today that you'd like to purchase from me, you can go to bonniescreativeplace.stampinup.net and you can purchase the items from me. Also, there is a little pink square over on the right hand side of your screen, and if you click on that little pink square, you will subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified whenever I upload a video. So for this little card, it looks like a lot of work, but really it's very simple. So stay tuned to the end, and I have another little card to show you that I also made with this set. So what we need, and first I want to let you know, we're going to be using designer series paper. This paper is called Snail Mail. I absolutely love it. And if you don't like the snails, if that's not your thing, the other side of the paper is just fun. And they're fun designs, and I just absolutely love it. I love this little heart one. It's got a bunch of little hearts on it. So there's a lot of fun stuff that you can do with this set. I want to let you know where you can find this set. This is in our mini occasions catalog, and it is on page 54 and 55. If you want the whole entire bundle, which you can get for $69.50, or you can just buy the stamps and the dies itself. But I just think he is adorable. And who doesn't like when you send a card, you could even just stamp a little snail in the back and say, you know, you got snail mail, because, you know, that's a joke around that the regular mailman is slower than all this virtual stuff nowadays. So, okay, so for this card, get all my little pieces out. We need some of the designer series paper. So I went ahead and I cut out, as I'm going to fussy cut him out because he's the only one we don't have a die for. I have a die for this one here, and I have a die for this one here. So we're going to use the die cutting machine to cut these two out. Then I have some scrap red and some scrap Bermuda Bay and Daffodil Delight for our little punches in the back. For the base of the card, this card is 8.5 by 5.5, and we scored it in the middle at 4 1/4. And then we have another little piece here, and this piece is 2 inches by 5 1/4, and we're going to put this piece right here. So let's get started, and we will do that first. So we're just going to use our stamp and seal, and I'm going to put this right here on the right hand side, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use our punch here. I can't remember. I will make sure I post this on the screen what this punch is called, because off the top of my head I cannot remember. I want to say it's some type of a postage. I'm not going to guess. So we're going to punch out 3 of these, 1 in each of these colors. Oops, I fibbed. I do not want to stamp this in that color. I wanted this one in the Blushing Bride. So I guess I need to grab a piece of scrap paper for that. And I have that right here. So I will just go ahead and punch this out. So there we go. That's the one I wanted. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to place these down. And kind of how I did this was I placed the pink one first, eyeballing the center, just like that. And then I placed the other 2. So then we will place this one here, and just like that. And then we'll place this one. Pick it up. And we're going to put this right about here. Okay. Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and we are going to get a piece of scrap Whisper White first before we do our die cutting. I guess I forgot my little scrap piece here. So we got a scrap piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to be taking this stamp that is in the package of the dies here. Let me see. Let me get the dies out. It's right here, and it's called Happy Mail enclosed, and it's got this little envelope. Well, I just want the word Happy Mail. I didn't want all the other stuff. So how I did that, make sure your stamp is very clean when you go to do this process. So your stamp will be clean, and then you're going to take the brush end of, this is a Stampin' Write black marker, and you're going to take the brush end, and these are our regular markers, and I am just coloring the Happy Mail part. I'm going to turn it around so I could see this side, and just, I'm not hitting any of the other colors. So this is just another way to get more mileages on your stamps. Okay? And if it was a bigger one and you did this to it, you would want to huff on it. And that just keeps it moist for when you go to stamp. So now you're going to stamp. And this is why I would say you want to have a very clean stamp, because if this was dirty around the edge of this, then that would show up around the edge of your paper, and you don't want that. So just make sure you have a clean stamp when you go to do this. So now we're going to bring in the big guy here. And meaning the big guy, I'm meaning the Stamp and Emboss die cutting machine. We're going to bring this in, and we are going to use platform 1 and platform 2, and then we're going to use cutting plate 3 and cutting plate 3. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our little guy on here and all of our stuff. I have a little magnetic dish over here, and I'm going to cut him out with this. Now you definitely want to use some type of, I use this Post-it note tape. It's on a little thing. You can use it over and over again. I usually have a bunch stuck on here. And I'm just going to hold him in place just like that so he cuts out really good. And then I'm also going to get out my other little snail that's on here, and I'm going to put it right over top of this one. Just like that. And I'm going to put her down so she doesn't move. And then I'm going to get my speech bubble. And I'm just going to put this right around here. And I am going to tape this one down because I don't want it to move. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our other platform 3 on top, and we're going to crank it through and cut all this stuff out. Okay, and then we can close this right up. Get that out of our way. Get all of our dies. And then we're just going to peel this off. So there's our first little guy. Isn't he cute? And then we have our Happy Mail right there. And then I also have my other little snail right here. And now I want this other little guy that's right down here. So I'm going to get out my cutting scissors and I'm going to cut him out. He's not a lot of cutting, so you don't really have to worry. And if you don't want to go between the eyes, then don't go between the eyes. You don't have to. It's up to you. And I actually think this time I'm not going to go between the eyes, so you guys can see that it looks fine if you don't go all the way down between the eyes. You don't have to make it more work. You could just do what you want, what looks good to you. Now, if you have a scanning cut or any of the other devices that are out there that cut around stuff, then by all means, go ahead and use it. I kind of enjoy fussy cutting unless I have to cut a lot. And then I have a scan and cut, and I definitely will use it if I have to cut a lot of stuff. Okay, I'm almost to the bottom. I'm just going to trim this up a little bit from when I cut it out of the paper. And right here, it's got a little bump. Oops. And this letter looks a little weird. Okay. Now, you could save this, which I'm going to, because if I want the letter, I could keep it and put a little heart on it. There's a lot of different things you could do with at least these two. You could get something die cutted out of the back side. So I'm going to keep my scrap. So now what I did was I brought in my paper, and I'm going to bring in Stampin' Dimensionals. I think I might need a little bit of both. I could be wrong. And I'm going to go ahead and put some of these down. Right there. I think I used both when I did the eyes because I wanted to make sure that I stuck the eyes down. And I'm going to need a mini one on this one. Yeah. Okay. I'll put one on here. I'll put a couple of these on here. And then I'm going to grab some mini dimensionals. And I'm going to put a few of these. And I'm going to need my tweezers because it seems like they like to stick to me. Okay. I'm going to put some on my eyes. I feel like one needs to go here that I could have done with the bigger one, but I didn't. Put one right here, and then grab a mini and put one right there. See, they're sticking to me and they still have this stuff on them. I'm going to put one right here on that one, and then maybe one over here that I could have put a big one on. Okay, I just don't want it sag in different directions. I usually am tons of dimensionals on stuff I overuse, but I don't like my card sagging. So here we go. We're going to peel these off, which they still like to cling to me. I have my little dish to catch them that my good friend Sharon got me. Which, okay, and then I just kind of put this right here. And then I'm going to get this one. And I'm going to put this one right here. And then I'm going to get this one here. And put this guy over here a little ways. I just think this is adorable, and it's quick. It is a really quick card. And then I'm just going to put that right there. And that is this card. Isn't that quick? It was so quick, so easy. It didn't even take me that long. I think what took me the longest was cutting out this little guy. But I wanted to show you another card. This is a card that I made for my husband for Valentine's Day. And I wrote "To My Valentine," and I cut out one of the little snails, and I put a little hearts on there, which I used the paper, the little heart paper that came with it. But then you open it up, and in here I put "I love our life together," and I have this little envelope that comes in the kit. And then I used "P.S. I love you" from the sun, and then I put a little thing in here. I just thought it was really cute because, like, the snail is delivering a letter, and then you go inside and you see what the letter says. So this is just Valentine's. I don't send a lot of Valentine's cards out. I got a couple nieces and nephews I want to send them to, but normally I don't even do that. But I'm going to do that this year, and I always make one for my hubby. So that's the other card that I wanted to share. So thanks for stopping by. Hit the like, leave a comment, subscribe, share, all the good stuff. So thanks for stopping by, everybody. Bye-bye.